Welcome in to the Fake Stuff Podcast. I am back at it again, getting straight to business, going solo today. Me and Craftman will hop back on it this evening, this weekend, sometime like that. But, you know, we like to pump out the content. All I ask is that you share the show. We're on all platforms, audio, YouTube, you name it. We should be there. But all I ask is we share the show. And I'm getting straight to business today, right to business. Because today, this episode will be about Brian Thomas Jr. is the bestest buy low in Dynasty fantasy football. And I'm going to plead my case right now. First, Jags are committed. They're committed to BTJ. So when you hear all fantasy football talk, you hear your podcast, you hear Twitter, you're like, well, Brian Thomas Jr., they should look to move him. He's going to get traded. He's going to be gone. No, he's not. He's got first-round draft capital, and we're talking about he's been on the Jags for 1 year, 2 seasons. So we're talking about season 3, season 4, and a 5th-year option. This dude's going nowhere on a team that is trying to win a Super Bowl. T-Law coming into his own, finished as a QB4. So we're talking about a team that's trying to win the Super Bowl, getting elite players on their team. So they have an elite wide receiver. Why would you look to trade him? That's NBA talk. That's Twitter talk right there. They're not trading Brian Thomas Jr. I know they've added in Jacoby Myers, Travis Hunter. They used him, drafted him with the second pick overall. But Jags committed. And it has to be said because everybody likes to get into that NBA talk about, well, Brian Thomas Jr. going to be. No. On a team that's ascending, trying to win the Super Bowl, you don't just trade your best players, your best wide receivers. And Brian Thomas Jr. is the best wide receiver on the Jacksonville Jaguars. No way, NFL-wise, that the Jacksonville Jaguars are trading their best player, who they spent first-round draft capital on. Like I said, we're talking about 4 years on a rookie deal, and then a 5th year with a player with the team option. So it's just not even plausible that he gets traded. So I don't even know what people are talking about. So like I said, Jags committed to their best wide receiver. Next, elite upside, elite. Talking about a guy like this, finished as the wide receiver 4 in his rookie year. And this was a year with 2 different quarterbacks, T-Law, Mac Jones. So in the weeks 11 through 18, BTJ averaged over 10 targets per game, which accumulated to 50 receptions, over 5 touchdowns. Finished as the wide receiver 4 in his rookie campaign. And all of that was with Mac Jones, right? Well, all those stats I just did, weeks 11 through 18. Let's talk about T-Law real quick. T-Law banged up that whole season last year. Played 9 games. I think he even came out early in another one a couple of games later down the line. So basically a lost season for Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. In those 9 games that T-Law played, we're talking about the beginning rookie campaign of Brian Thomas Jr. We're talking about a banged up Trevor Lawrence. First 9 games, playing together and stuff like that. So it's obviously, you got to build a rapport. You don't just start off from the top, just smacking everything around. So basically, in those first 9 weeks, everybody's talking about, well, he don't do nothing with T-Law. He still had a wide receiver 2, a wide receiver 8, and a wide receiver 9 finish. That was through 9 games of football. He still had 3 elite upside games at the beginning of his career. I'm talking about the very beginning of his career. So the upside is there. Brian Thomas can get it done. And basically, like, the main argument to him being the best buy low is players that have upside like this and then drop off their second year, they just don't come available. Like, there'll be some guys that are, borderline players. You draft them with your first-round rookie draft pick. Then next year, you might combine them for a second. Like, BTJ really ain't that. You know what I'm saying? And the guys like these really don't come open all the time. And just because he has one down year, everybody's like, well, I'm out on him. I'm done with BTJ. He's with the Jags. He's with T-Law. Everybody's got all these excuses about him. Elite upside, and he's available. All right, so why did everything go downhill for him this year? I think injuries could have played a role. Let's see. From the opening day, I mean, he had one of the lowest catch rates of anybody in the NFL. You could tell from opening day from camp, when they walked in from camps, this dude was hurt. He was coming up short on a lot of catches. You didn't see that a year ago. But this year, you just see it. I just think he was hurt this year. And then, obviously, starting week 7, we see a drop-off in snap percentage. So in week 7 and 8, dude's percentage is going down, snap percentage. So he's on the field less. And then missed weeks 10 through 12. This man was hurt. Dude missed 3 weeks. The dude pretty much had 2 games where he played less time, and including the bye week. So we're talking about 6 weeks of just non-football, really, for Brian Thomas Jr. This is just what happens. Like, you get hurt playing football. So, honestly, I'm just kind of perplexed of why BTJ is really such a buy low at this point. But it's just obvious he's the best. Like, could injuries have played a role? Of course they could have played a role. The dude didn't just play it and go off in year 1 and then just like, oh, year 2, he don't know how to play football. He's trash. Like, that shit just don't happen. Next, high volume of targets. Man, from an offense that's ascending, from an elite prospect, high volume of targets. Only 2 games that BTJ played in this year, he's received less than 5 targets. Still had games of 10 to 12 targets. Over 23% of the target share. Finished as the wide receiver 42. So let's just put it like this. I want to get a player that I can get on the cheap, that is on an offense that is ascending, and the target share. I mean, 23% target share of all these wide receivers that came in. BTJ still the man to look at to get the rock. Best wide receiver on the team. Next year, when they get another year with Liam Cohen in there, another year of T-Law slinging it around. We're talking about deep balls, intermediate routes, short routes. Like, BTJ is going to be involved. BTJ is involved in the red zone. We've seen it in the NFL playoffs just this past year. First looking at the 10-yard line or whatever, first look, they go into BTJ. So he's involved, man. The high volume of targets. And like I said, I mean, earlier I said it, weeks 11 through 18 in his rookie year, he averaged over 10 targets per game, which is insane. Like, that's not just dinking and dunking everywhere. Like, Mac Jones was still hitting them with some good passes. Right now, what is the narrative on BTJ? What is the narrative? Everything I pretty much just said, but people are just flat out off of Brian Thomas Jr. And this is where I say, like, people just don't play Dynasty. You know what I'm saying? There's just more of a redraft kind of year. I'm starting to think that there's a niche when you play Dynasty fantasy football and to being patient and letting things play out. Just like real life. Be patient and let things play out because everybody's trading 1 and 2 years. Like, you could be trading good players. He could have like 6 years left of good football. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's playing Dynasty on really, people say 2 or 3 year windows, but it's really like a 1 or 2 year window. So people just being impatient, people just out on BTJ after 1 year. After that dude posted a wide receiver 4 year, his rookie year, we're just out on him. Makes no sense. Dude does not just suck, you know what I'm saying? All right, another narrative. Why is he not going to be as good next year? Well, the competition has gotten a little stiffer. We got Jacoby Myers just came in, signed a 2-year deal with Jacksonville. Travis Hunter, he was the number 2 overall pick, but I think the narrative around it is it's going to be a little crowded. We got ETN, we got Tootin, we got Parker Washington who was balling out, Brenton Strange. So we got a lot of weapons. But to me, that just means nothing to me. To me, it helps BTJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this offense rolling. Like, T-Law was the quarterback 4. Like, this offense was moving ever since the bye week this year. This team right here was ascending, and what are we going to do next year? Like, it's just going to get better. I mean, everybody wants to hate T-Law, I get it, but all he does is he's gotten better and better year after year. Got him a head coach with an offensive mind, and here we are. You know what I'm saying? So the narrative of it being crowded, or I'm just out on him, or he just sucks, like, come on now. We're playing Dynasty here. Like, those are the kind of narratives I want to hear right now. Like, I want to hear that he sucks, you know what I'm saying? So I can go buy him. That's what I'm saying. Like, that is the definition of Dynasty. Like, buy lows should be nasty. Like, that shit's nasty, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just, you're not just going to get, I would love to get, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I would love to have all those guys. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to get fucking nasty, bro. You know what I'm saying? BTJ's really not even that nasty, and people are just straight up out on him. Crazy. But what's the price? What is the price? All right, well, look, myself, I practice what I preach. I went out and got BTJ in the middle of the year. I did Devontae Smith in the second. I even got Jacoby Myers back in that trade. I would have just did it without Jacoby Myers. You know what I mean? Devontae Smith is just one of those guys that never really takes you over the top. He's just a guy on your roster. He might give you some good games. He'll give you some goose eggs. That's what it is with those Philly receivers. So I traded him. I got Brian Thomas Jr., somebody with elite upside. If you're telling me I can get rid of Devontae Smith in a second and just take a chance on BTJ, like, dude, that's automatic. Like, it's just not even a debate. But let's be more realistic of what BTJ really is worth. I would say mid-first. Maybe if you could add a vet in there, but if you're going player for player, let's put it like this. In our rookie drafts, there's one running back. There's basically 3 wide receivers that are in the top 10. Then you got your quarterback, Mendoza, who will probably go 101 overall in the NFL draft. So we're talking about like 105. So in a draft that's weak, the 106, 107 could go towards BTJ. Like if you could swing some kind of deal, like some kind of veteran wide receiver that you would like to get rid of, like throw into a competing team like Mike Evans, Debo, in a mid to late first. Bring me some BTJ. Just a suggestion. Like I don't know what he would cost, but I would say a mid to late first is right in the price range, especially for this 26 class. If I could pay up the 108, the 26, 108, 26, 109, and get BTJ, I think this year it's automatic. Got to go do it. Like I said, I practice what I preach, and I have done the same. I went and got BTJ. There's some other good buy lows out there, and I might kick the tires and throw another little solo out there on some good ones. And I know we just did a buy low, sell high episode with Big Dog Brad and the Craft Man. So that's what Dynasty's all about. Buy low, sell high. We'll get deep into these rookie talks here soon, but that's pretty much all I got. So my case for Brian Thomas Jr., the best buy low Dynasty fantasy football, is Brian Thomas Jr. Last year, 2 years ago, Craftman said JSN. Last year, I said Roma Tuesday. We've been pretty much on top of these things. Brian Thomas Jr. is the best buy low in Dynasty fantasy football. I want to thank everybody for listening to the podcast. Like I said, please share the show. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon. I mean, wherever you can get a podcast, we should be there. iHeartRadio. And if we're not on there, let me know and I'll get us on there. But I appreciate everybody who listens to the podcast. And with that said, I'm out.